Someone else start, please. I'm tired.
What's up, fellas? It's your boy ABCT acting up. Ray in the house.
What's going on? It's Rashad. Forgot my team name. Oh, the dog is bark. The dog has bark, but I haven't had bark since like week 2. But what's up, everybody? Glad to do another one of these podcasts.
He says that as he's sitting up top, first place.
Yeah, you're sitting in first place, so that's
Yeah.
weird. What's good, everybody? It's your boy. I was at top for like 1 week, and then that ended real quick. Everybody's gotten injured, clearly on my team.
It's that Russell Wilson love. That's what did it to you.
I knew it would pop up, but
Damn, Ray waited 51 seconds before he brought that up.
it's okay. I'm not gonna address this no more. Not addressing it. By the end of the season, we shall see what happens. I hope the nigga gets traded anyway. So ain't nobody trading for that contract. That contract is stupid.
hmm
But I blame Denver Broncos management. I'll never blame Russ for you know getting the bag. So salute. Mm.
Wait, I
Anyways,
just realized what you got on. You got on your
Joe
Bird.
Burrow. Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm glad they got a dub. That's all I cared about.
3-3 now, right? Is that
Yeah.
3 in a row? Is that 3 in a row?
No. No, I think it's 2 out of the last 3.
Okay.
Yeah. They've been looking a little shaky.
You know what though?
People need to get healthy.
That first loss doesn't look as bad now that we see what Cleveland really is made of. You know,
Cleveland's for real.
Yeah,
Cleveland's
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say for real in terms of like contender yet, but for real in terms of like it's not. There's no.
It's going to be competitive. It's not It's not the bye week.
Right. Basically. Right.
Yeah. Well, fellas, how'd y'all weeks go? According to fantasy, personally, I don't care. I speak with y'all every day, so this not for that. Yeah.
I could start. Fantasy for this league went well for me. Like I said, another week without Saquon, so that's to get a win without your number 1 draft pick, and I'm actually undefeated without him right now. So that just makes thinking about the bye weeks, and now that he's back in the line, I sat him last week just because it was a Sunday night game and he was still questionable, so I didn't want to run that risk. But knowing that he's back in the mix now and bye weeks are coming up, I'm confident in terms of what we got looking for. Obviously, still a competitive league, so nothing is a guaranteed win. But to see what I could do without him in the lineup and knowing that he's coming back, this gives me that extra security blanket. So good week last week, coming off a win, and I think I know I have a tough matchup this week. I think it's the other 5-1 team I'm going against.
Yep. You're going up against Tua Montana. Second place right now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, good week overall for fantasy. Some people in the league surprising. In the NFL league, surprising, but it's cool to see. We definitely have a competitive league, especially for our inaugural year.
Yeah. It was a weird week, a little bit of a weird week because I know the season has been weird in general with offenses being inconsistent. I think last time we did the podcast we talked about Madden and how it or maybe we talked about it in person when we were at dinner the other night. How Madden has turned into like this offensive game. This defensive struggle, and all the passing mechanics, everything has changed. I bring all that up to say that it feels like the league is sort of on the same page. Like Madden's controlling what's going on in the league because like defenses are stepping up and offenses are inconsistent. And the reason I bring all that up is because it's been frustrating for me. I'm starting to feel the frustrations in a couple ways. I'm heavily invested in Justin Jefferson and Devon Achane in like almost every single one of my league. I have a combination of those two guys, or at least one of them, and they're both hurt. So like I'm starting to feel that like now 2.5, 3 weeks in now, it's starting to hit me and taking some losses in certain places, and also the whole Joe Burrow. I'm also heavily invested in Burrow and Jalen Hurts, and neither one of those guys have played up to their potential. So like those things are starting to frustrate me a little bit with fantasy. But overall, um, this I saw a stat recently on NFL Network that said that this week was the lowest scoring average week in the entire season so far at like 36 points on average, and that's like a full 10 points below what the average had been, which was like 46 or 45. And it just feels like it feels like everything is a struggle with some of these games. I mean, it's been exciting football so far, but
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see more fireworks, and that's translating to fantasy too because it's inconsistent.
Yeah, I agree.
To piggyback off what you were saying, Ray, that whole defensive struggle, where it looks like a lot of defenses are the ones that are making the points
Hmm.
now for our fantasy teams. Because last week I did, who did I? I used what was it? I think it was the Vikings. Yeah, I used the Vikings last week, and Vikings ain't really the best defense in the world. They gave me 22 points off of anything. I think I've got another 20-point game from another defense. So I've been just streaming different defenses against non powerful offenses. So it's super weird. But your stars are going to be your stars for the most part. Like for me, it's like Stephon Diggs and Keenan Allen. They've been my consistent players on my team, and with at least with those two, I feel like I've had a fighting chance in a lot of these games because now, as y'all know, Nick Chubb is gone for the season, and I was basically all in on Nick Chubb. Didn't matter what league I was in, I was going to draft Nick Chubb first round. But when you got what I guess two, well, not even guess, but I know in when it comes to PPR and position ranks, I got two top five wide receivers on my team. So that's it. But it's been a good week for fantasy. What I do hope is some running backs can become available to me, but let's see what it is. Um, Before obviously we normally talk about what's going to happen in the podcast. So that I put out the question: what has been your biggest disappointment this year in fantasy, whether it be a player or just I don't know anything, honestly.
I can kick off. I got two things. I got two things. One, it's from the other league that we're in, but I still
Hmm.
think it's disappointing for fantasy purposes. Fantasy's competitive game. Um, Last year I got hoodwinked by Kyle Pitts, and this year
Hmm.
I got hoodwinked by Derrick Henry. He's
Mm.
shown glimpses of himself this year, but Tennessee. I mean, I'm not really watching their games like that. Being on like during the 1 o'clock time, usually that's when I'm
Yeah.
usually tuned in the red zone. But I feel like every time I see a Tennessee game when they're on offense, it's their second running back on the field
Tajay
because
Spears.
they're usually in a passing down and they're not looking to throw Henry the rock. So that's been disappointing. Like he's had I think like a 25-point game for me, and that's been by far his best. He's also put up a 2-point game for me.
Hmm.
So I would say that in terms of like disappointment, again, it doesn't pertain particularly to this league. But I still think, in terms of like wanting a competitive league, like I'd still like to go against the best players and see how I line up. I think the other piece is kind of what Ray just alluded to with Justin Jefferson, and we're seeing. I think what's disappointing is we're seeing more star players go down,
Hmm.
um, and it's at like a multi-week capacity. Just Justin Jefferson, we just saw like a whole heap of people earlier this week that might be out this upcoming week, being McCaffrey, being Justin Fields. I feel like I'm missing someone else, but then like you
Debo?
mentioned, yeah,
Oh,
but I'm not sure if he's expected to miss that much
okay.
time. I don't know,
I
but
think
like Saquon,
David Montgomery is. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be. It's not 100% clear, but
yeah,
David Montgomery is probably.
but then like Chubb is out, obviously, like you had
Hmm.
mentioned. Saquon's missed 3 or 4 games. Like the star players that we
Rogers is
usually see,
out.
yeah, star players that we usually see at the top of the list in fantasy are out, which I think it makes it competitive because people are having to scramble and get creative. But
Hmm.
you want to see the Justin Jeffersons in the lineups. Like that's what makes fantasy fun. So I would say the star power going down so early in the season for a lengthy amount of time has been disappointing for me.
For me, I know on my squad in this league, my biggest disappointment is more than likely Najee Harris because I'm pretty sure I spent the top four pick, like top 4 round pick on him. He really hasn't done anything. I feel like Jalen Warren is, is slowly but surely going to become the guy there. Hopefully, that is not the case until maybe next year. And obviously for y'all's sake, so y'all can get this, and I'll admit it, biggest disappointment in NFL is Russ. Okay, y'all can get your jokes off. It's Russ. He
Quick
played a
question for you
hard.
though.
Hmm.
I was gonna say, is that a true disappointment? Like, obviously, it's disappointing. I want to see him do well, but did you really come in with like that high expectations after what you saw last year?
I came in with not high. I guess it is higher, but not like astronomical. It was more like, okay, he has a new coach, especially Sean Payton, who's considered an offensive minded coach. I was thinking he will put Russ in the best spots to succeed, but I don't know if it's a Russ thing or if it's a Sean Payton thing or if that team is just literally just discombobulated. I really don't know. I mean, they have weapons, but then the defense gives up 70. The offensive line is terrible, so it's just a multitude of
So
things.
let me ask this question then. On a scale 1 to 10, one being Russ last year, 10 being like 2015 Russ, where did you see him coming in this year?
One being last year and 2015 being his best year.
I'm wherever his prime was, right? Like
Yeah,
a
I know what you mean.
Super
I know
Bowl
what you
Russ.
mean. I know what you mean. Damn, that was early in this career. Yeesh. Um, I would say like right in the middle.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I don't think he was going to be closer to his prime, especially when he threw that 40 touchdown season. I didn't see that happen. But just to have like 4,000 yard, maybe 27 TDs to like 10 picks, something around there. I felt that was like should be the floor at least for him. But
got you.
that may or may not be the case for the rest of the season. But yeah,
I didn't evaluate him enough to think that, but I personally thought like I said before, I thought last year was a fluke, but I didn't come in with expectations that much higher than last year, not because of his lack of ability, but because I didn't really see much improvement around the roster
mm-hmm.
um, from last year. I also don't watch the Broncos closely enough to know like if they made that many key moving movements, but it was still the same weapons he had to throw to. I don't think they brought in much of an O line for him. Really, what they brought in for him was Sean Payton.
Yeah, and that doesn't even look. I know Nathaniel Hackett wasn't like the greatest of coaches, but he wasn't giving up no 70 bombs. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. How about you, Ray?
Um, I'll give you my biggest disappointment in a minute, but sticking on the subject of the Broncos,
Mhm.
their best playmaker is not even getting much burn, which, in my opinion, I think their best playmaker is Marvin Mims,
Mhm.
and he has a low snap count, very small amount of targets every game. And we've already seen what he can do with a small sample size. Like just get him to
Mhm.
rock once or twice, and he's taking it to the house. He's an explosive player, and
Yeah.
if they were smart, they'd get their best players involved now because the season's pretty much done for them, right? Like, I mean, it's not mathematically over, but they're what, 1-5.
Mhm.
So might as well play around, see who the best youngest players are, and just enjoy the rest of the season, you
Yeah.
know, without pressure. Because changes are going to come. Something's going to happen. They can't roll this same team back out there next year. No way.
No, they can.
Because and who's going to take the blame for it? Unfortunately, it's going to be Russ
Mhm.
because Sean Payton came after Russ. So they're going to say, "Well, we gave away all these resources for Russ. We paid him all this money. He's got this contract that he's not living up to. So we're going to have to move on from him." So that's probably what's going to happen. So might as well just salvage some of the season. Let some of these guys play for their future teams, win some position battles and enjoy it. But my biggest disappointment for the season, Rashad alluded to it a little earlier with like injuries, but that
Mhm.
was more of a generalization, and I agree with that. I think just to get specific, one specific injury to me on the fantasy side that's been disappointing. I mentioned his name before, right, with my previous answer, Devon Achane.
Mhm.
It's been a long time since we've seen a player like that come across that has been so
Mhm.
nuclear and just changes the game in the flip of a switch and does it every single game. Like that was one thing that I was looking forward to watching Red Zone, seeing Devon Achane run for a 60, 70-yard touchdown. You knew
Yeah.
it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time, right? Like it was one of those things that was close to becoming a guarantee for the fantasy season. And then dude got hurt. So that was disappointing for me because, and he's not. I mean, granted, he's gonna come back, but by the time he comes back, like whoever owns him, selfishly speaking, your season could be almost done.
Yeah.
You could be out of the running. So, um, that's disappointing for me.
Yeah.
You know what he reminds me of? And I haven't listened to any player comparisons, so I could be way off. But just by the eyeball test, he reminds me of a young Warwick Dunn.
Okay, yeah, that's a
I
good
like that.
comparison.
I
Yeah,
like that.
I was
I like that.
I was gonna go more with CJ2K,
Mhm. Okay.
because he's got blazing speed and similar
Yeah,
build. Pause. So.
Yeah. I had gotten Achan in another league, and then obviously he got hurt. I think we all. I feel like this season is definitely proof that some we wanted, well, at least the people we know wanted a piece of Miami Dolphins offense. It did not matter. It did
Mm-hmm.
not matter. Raheem Mostert looks healthy for once. He's not. Him not being hurt is the most surprising thing. I remember drafting him a couple of years ago in TBC. He was injured for week one, and then never came back. I was like, come on. So I'm glad to see Ryan Mostert, playing well. Um, Tyreek still playing well. Jalen Waddle is the only thing that's
he
not the
was he was
greatest,
hurt
but
early on though.
he's hurt early on. But now I feel like he's gonna work himself back into getting what 6, 7 receptions. I'm pretty sure of that. So
Yeah.
well, not to be super negative, but what would you say is your best move or best pickup that you've had this year? I'm assuming for Ray it has to be HN. I know
I
you didn't draft him.
I did.
You did? Okay, my
I
bad.
drafted Achan in three out of the four places that I have him, and I
Mm,
think I may have even drafted him in the fifth league and dropped him. So that might have been a mistake. I have to go back and check the draft list, but that wasn't what I was gonna go with. I needed some time to think about it. I don't want to keep riding that Achan train.
mhm,
That was a great pickup, but I think like for me. The best pickup I've had in any of the leagues that I'm in this year. Some idiot after week 1 dropped DeAndre Swift. I don't know what they thought. I don't know why they did it. It was a silly move. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. But somebody dropped DeAndre Swift, and it was we have a fab budget in that league, so
Mm.
I spent half my fab on DeAndre Swift. I was like, you know what? It's gonna be worth it. So $50 right out the bat. Week 2, I'm already that half out of pocket already. So but it was worth it, and that was probably the best pickup I've made off the waiver wire, or best move I've made, because just like Miami, same thing with Philly. You want to have those playmakers in that offense. Yeah, I think something's wrong with Philly's offense. I've been saying this. I
Mm-hmm.
I have some friends in Philly, and we watch Eagles games together when I'm down there. And obviously, the Jets beat them this past weekend, and
Yeah.
I enjoy the trash talk there and the bragging rights. But I've been telling my buddies there that are Eagles, diehard Eagles fan. I'm like, and they didn't believe me until now. And I'm like, guys, listen, look at your team. This is not it's the same exact personnel, except for some of the coordinators that are gone. But the
Mm-hmm.
team ain't. It's not. They're not playing the same. The outcomes are not the same. Jalen Hurts is not nearly as explosive.
As last year.
AJ Brown looks the same. He looks great, right? But Devontae is not getting the same type of, like home run hits, and
Mm-hmm.
something's wrong with the offense in general. So, they got the tush push, the brotherly shove thing going for them, right? But other than that, they're not dominating on offense. They're not like
Yeah.
blowing teams out. So I had a feeling that this could happen after they lost their offensive coordinator, but I didn't think it was going to be this much of an impact. I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll lose a couple more of these close kind of games to like fringe playoff teams like the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I could even see them getting bounced in the playoffs early. But if they don't figure this out, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to get kicked.
I had a feeling about that Eagles offense, but I was just thinking it was just week 1, but they didn't look. I mean, they looked impressive for one half against Patriots,
Hmm.
and then that second half I think they only had like 3 or something
Yeah.
like that. It was just weird. I'm like, it's the it's the Patriots. They don't have anybody. They
Yeah.
just got Mac Jones throwing them the ball, and he's not no world beater. So that was that
Yeah.
was that was the start of it, and then obviously they've been keeping it close with a couple of teams. And again, shout out to your Jets, which
Thank you.
now, which I've seen on certain platforms, they're saying that with the Jets' upcoming schedule, they look destined for a playoff spot. I would like to see that. I'm not a Jets hater. I would actually like to see it.
I appreciate that. I think all of us would like to see that. But before we talk about the Jets or move on, I think Rashad had a point that he wanted to make about the
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, yeah. What was interesting about the Eagles was I could be wrong, but I feel like the last time we did this, they were your top team in the NFL at that point. For
Probably.
for
Yeah.
Mm.
the same reason you just said, though, because
Mhm.
they looked good and their
Hmm.
offense wasn't clicking yet. And I think we
Yeah.
all had anticipated that by now, what is this, week 7 coming up, week 8 or
Yep.
week 6,
Week
week 7?
7.
Yeah. Week 7.
Um,
Yeah.
we had thought by now they would find it. Like now, we knew that there
Yeah.
was some moving parts and they're not there yet. So it's like, have we
Hmm.
seen probably not the best of what they can give yet, but at the same time, it's like we thought they would click sooner. So
Mhm.
going back to my best move, that was the question, right?
Yeah, best move. Yeah.
I really didn't. I haven't in any of my leagues. I haven't made any pickups that have been impactful yet. Um, with the exception, I think maybe in our his and hers league, I can't remember if I drafted him or picked him up early, but Laporta from Detroit, the tight end.
Sam Laporta. I think it's Sam Laporta.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I,
That's
I
him.
can't
Yeah.
remember. I can't remember because I knew I picked up a tight end. I can't
Mhm.
remember if he was on my bench and I had someone else starting, like a Hunter Henry maybe, and then did a
Mhm.
swap. He didn't start for me week 1. I don't think that much. So I just can't remember if I picked him up or not. But I want to make things relevant to this league. So I would say DeAndre Swift. I don't think I picked him up, but I drafted him, and I think I got him
Mhm.
at a good price. But what I would say, I can't give myself too much credit because at the time I didn't love the move. But I did say in the offseason, I like the move for the team. I like DJ Moore going to the Bears. I
Mhm.
said before, I feel like his biggest strength is the ability to keep a route going. And I
Yeah.
said that Justin Fields can keep a play going. I don't know if I said that on this podcast, but I know I've said it to multiple people because I actually really like that move. I didn't love drafting him to my team because I was like, I wanted more star power in that wide receiver
Mhm.
2 spot. But obviously, it's worked out well where he's just had a great year so far. But now with Justin Fields going down, we'll see what that looks like. But so far, that move looks like to be my sleeper move in this league.
DJ
Okay.
DJ Moore is the modern day Allen Robinson.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely consistent. He's gonna have some games where he goes off, and he's gonna just carry. You can rely on him.
Yeah, and he's a faster version of Robinson too.
Yeah.
For me, besides my two stud receivers, Diggs and Keenan Allen. You know my favorite player, Keenan Allen. Honestly, in this league, my best move has probably been, shockingly, after week what I think it was week one, picking up Puka Nakua. Honestly, I don't know where he came from. Once you saw that week one game, obviously my ears like peaked up. All right, let me see if I can grab him because certain people I know they be up at 3 in the morning. I'm not gonna say no names. Um, and I was shocked when I got him, and then I was like, all right, so let me wait a week to see if I can, if I don't have to use it. But then I saw what he did on the bench. I was like, no, I can't. You can't let that kind of production be off the field. I mean, be off the starting line. And then on top of that, the biggest worry or concern was when Cooper Cup was going to come back, obviously, and he still looks like the same player. Like they're doing the same thing. So I'm very appreciative of that. So I would say definitely the Puka Nakua pickup. And honestly, anytime, every week, I've been trying to stream defenses. I've not kept not one defense for more than maybe a week or so, and it's been working out for me at least. Oh, Puka. Man, I got him in this league and I got him in another league, which was just it's a free league, but it was just just with a couple of friends who don't really play fantasy football. But I'm doing terrible in that league because again, Nick Chubb.
If if Puka takes you to the promised land and you win a chip, you got to get his tattoo on your arm or something.
I will. I will. I'll get the jersey number and
You
the
gotta
jersey
get
definitely.
you gotta get the tattoos. He's in love with the puka.
Don't. I'm not doing all that. Too many letters. Too many letters. But yeah. Wait, have y'all not in this league? Because I know because I've been. Have y'all not made any trades in your other leagues?
I haven't done anything yet. No trades. I've
Same.
declined. I've declined a trade in one league. I've proposed a trade or two in this league. But yeah, nothing's gone through on either side.
Mhm.
Yeah, same here. I pretty much the same history. Uh, I've proposed a few trades. I've declined a shit ton of shitty ass trades.
Mhm.
Um, and then I've sent out some offers. I've sent out the most offers in our league in the
Yeah.
World War III league, and I was really close to pulling off a couple of trades, some decent trades, and they just didn't fall through. But they just fell through, so they didn't go.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I couldn't pull them off. But um, I feel like this league, since everyone's still so brand new to each other, majority everyone's like a mixture of people that have played together but in small pockets.
Mhm.
That I think that's a uh perfect formula for trades to happen. So I
Yeah.
you know I'm hoping that we see more action because there's been some action, but not a lot.
Yeah. I haven't made a single trade in any league I've been in. What else has happened? I have been offered a trade uh, in that his and hers league with Rashad. Uh, I was offered it. I didn't even respond to the message. It was
Uh,
it was like
it's,
Justin Jefferson. I'm like Justin Jefferson.
oh, I got to say, I know exactly
And
who
it
it
was
was.
like
You
it
sent me a
was
trade.
you exactly the same. I knew who it was. Then it was like he was gonna take Stephon Diggs from me. I was like, Stephon Diggs has been a dog this year. I was never. I didn't even think about it. I was like,
I actually,
I let that message just
I
wait.
actually had space to do that. I actually did consider it for half a second,
Mhm,
only because I have multiple wide receivers that I can
mhm,
pull it off with, where I can run that risk and keep him on the bench. But because in that league, I've got Jamar Chase, I've got AJ Brown, I've got DJ Moore, I've got Brandon Ayuk, and I've
The
got
hell?
yeah,
yeah.
it's a
So I'm
10-man league. It's 10-person league.
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
he wanted DJ Jones out there. So I'm like, I could afford to do that, but I told you there's just something I don't trust about that Justin Jefferson injury. Like I feel like they're
Me
keeping
neither.
something from us, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just I feel like I have like a Nana conspiracy theory cooking up, but I just
What's
feel
the theory? I want to hear this one.
no, it's not like I shouldn't say maybe it's not a baked out theory, but I just feel like they're hiding something from us because even I sent a screenshot to him the other
Mhm.
day and it said like it was Adam Schefter's thread and it
Yeah,
said
yeah.
out 4 to 6 weeks. This was also like a week after the injury, out 4 to 6
Hmm.
weeks, and then he will be evaluated with imaging in 4 weeks. So does that mean like if it's good to go, like he's just in the game then? I feel like he has to get some practices in, so that means another week. Like how long does it take to get the evaluation back? So I don't. I just it was too much X's and O's in my mind to run that
Yeah.
risk. But like I said, I have the wide receiver
You have the
capital where I can
space.
kind
Yeah.
of where I could run that risk. But I'm like, let's not mess up a good thing I got going over there.
Exactly. When what I've been hearing, and no, I don't have any sources or whatever, is that like he they don't have a contract for Justin Jefferson right now. Like he'll be a free agent next year. Obviously, they may tag him, but why would you do that? And they may just sit him. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you, I
It's
would
weird.
be if me as a fantasy football player, I would be pissed if you sit him for the rest of the season. But obviously, in the business world of the NFL, obviously, I wouldn't. I mean, hey, less taxes on your body. You ain't got to worry about
Also,
getting a kid.
he doesn't. I don't think he necessarily loves the situation anyway. So
He don't.
it's not the worst thing in the world to him.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, as someone that's going to be directly affected by that, by anything that you guys are saying right now, I also heard all that stuff. Also, I heard that they may trade him because of the whole
Mhm.
contract situation. So
Yeah,
honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know. But whatever happens, as long as he comes back and he plays, that's all I care about. But I saw the same report, the whole 4 to 6 week thing, and then reevaluated after that. But I'm thinking to
Yeah,
myself like,
reevaluate.
yeah, I'm thinking to myself like the midseason IR
Mhm.
after the 4 weeks, they got to open up the practice window, and that's 21 days. So like
yeah,
that could be another 3 weeks. Who knows,
Mhm.
So
yeah.
see what happens. I'm hoping that because when he got hurt, like immediately he was on the sideline, but he was still in his gear. He wasn't in
Yeah,
Mhm.
street
right,
clothes or
right.
anything. So I was like, oh, okay, he's just gonna like a
He's
couple
back.
plays and then he's gonna come back, and he just didn't come back. So and that was a
Yeah,
competitive game. They needed him.
yeah.
So
I
I don't know.
think
I
Yeah,
don't know,
they
man.
did.
disappointed. I forgot even what topic we were on, but that was good talk though because we all seem to share similar opinions about that situation.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's weird. Also, another disappointing thing. which is really not disappointing. It's a disappointing yet positive for another player. The fact that the Lions have not used Jameer Gibbs at all, like it's just weird, especially when in fantasy a lot of people were picking Jameer Gibbs, not necessarily like top 2 rounds, but he was getting picked early because they thought he was going to be the guy, and then David Montgomery, who's been a dog for 6 weeks now, he's consistently getting the goal line touches, consistently getting the snaps. It's super weird. It makes you think like, what was the point of you drafting Jameer Gibbs? Unless this is just you don't know the playbook real well, he doesn't block real well, something. It's very weird that situation. But the fact that they're still winning is it's a good thing. I'm pretty sure. I think me and Rashad was saying like they would win the division this year,
Yeah.
and it's looking mighty good. It's looking real good on the prediction.
So what I thought was interesting. I'm not trying to take credit for all these moves, saying like, "Oh, I had it right," because I said I like the DJ Moore move. I personally didn't love the DeAndre Swift move to Philly. I thought he would be good there, but I felt like Miles Sanders was better in that offense, and they would be missing him. So, but I actually really liked the David Montgomery in Detroit. I thought he fit well with that scheme. I thought he was a little bit of what uh, Jamal Williams went there, right? It was Jamal
Yeah,
Williams.
yeah.
He went there, and then I thought he was like going to be like a Jamal Williams, like how he was in Green Bay. But
Mm-hmm.
then also his own. I've always been a David Montgomery fan, and I just felt like he was going to bring some of Jamal Williams' style to that offense as well as his own style. And I thought he was going to be the feature back. Like I thought, like I like Gibbs, but I thought with that experience in a tough NFC North division, I thought he was going to fit in well with that offense.
Yeah.
And they're known for being more of a finesse style offense, right? Like fast guys who are slimmer in frame. Pause, but
Mhm.
he was going to bring that toughness to that offense, I thought, and so he seems just like a Dan Campbell type of guy,
Mhm.
and that's why I liked him in that offense. But I'm happy for him because he hasn't had much luck in Chicago as it was.
Yeah, kudos to you if you called that because I I was fully bought in on the whole Jameer Gibbs being the guy, and
Mhm.
I still think that ultimately that's the plan.
Yeah, yeah,
I
of
think
course.
yeah, like after like maybe a year from now or so, or even later on this year, like you never know, like injuries happen. Not calling for him to get injured, but um, like you just never know what the situation is. I do think that to your point, could be some pass blocking stuff going on that maybe he's not catching on to as quickly. I think he's the more dynamic player out of the two. Montgomery is probably a better pass blocker, pass protector, and probably runs better routes. And just a straight to the hole kind of runner. More north south
Yeah, yeah.
as opposed to Gibbs, who could just like bounce it all around, right? Like he's much more athletic. So I thought him like coming into the draft, I stayed away from two players because I knew I wasn't going to get them where they were being drafted, and that was Jameer Gibbs and
Mhm.
Bijan Robinson.
I had a feeling
I
he was
didn't
going to
end up.
say Bijan.
Yeah, I didn't end up with shares in either of those two guys because like they were being picked in the first, like sometime in the first round or
Some in the second.
as late as the second, but they weren't going past that. So, and I wasn't grabbing running backs around that time. So like but at least one of them is seeing success right now, and I still think Jameer Gibbs that Lions offense is they got a lot of mouths to feed there, and that's a good offense. So I think Jameer Gibbs is going to get his. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah, I agree. Going back real quick to the David Montgomery thing. The other thing I thought of and why I thought he's going to be successful, I guess maybe a better way of saying what I had said earlier was you think of NFC North, right? And we're talking Minnesota, which they do play north indoors now, but Chicago, Green Bay, um, and then obviously Detroit, all cold places.
Mhm.
And I think back to when I played football, the last person you wanted to have to tackle was the tough guy on the team in that cold weather. That just hurts more. And
Mhm.
with David Montgomery being a tough north-south runner, like he just to me is like the epitome of an NFC North, just um, tough running style running back, which is just hard to bring down. And when you're getting punched in the face 30 runs a game, and in a cold, blistery day, so I thought he fit well, and like I didn't want to see him leave the NFC North.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I have nothing on that actually. We spoke about that. So do any of you guys have your like? Let's say since we're like a third of the way into the NFL season, who would you say is your front runner for like MVP this year?
Mm.
In the NFL or
In the
for
NFL, in the
fantasy?
NFL, in the NFL.
Okay.
I don't
I
think
got to
there's
think
a,
about that.
I don't think there's an MVP in fantasy. I mean, maybe the MVP of your team, but
Um, if about a third of the way through, I'd probably say probably Tua.
mm, okay.
Like I think Tua is probably not only is he gonna win if he stays healthy, not only is he gonna win like comeback player of the year or whatever that award is, but I think he could get MVP. Because like it's just been extremely important in that offense. Obviously, Tyreek Hill makes things go there too, right? But I think Tua is really opening up some eyes, and he's probably leading the MVP discussion in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, I think Ray and I are in the same wavelength, but I'd like to go against the grain. This is not what the NFL is going to say because I think it maybe happened once, but I would go Cheetah.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's a quarterback's award though, right? Like in the '90s, it was like a quarterback or running back award, depending on what happened. It's rarely been a receiver award, but I think about all the things Ray just said, and I have no argument against it if it is Tua. But if I'm going against the grain, I think if I look at like the best player on one of the best teams right now is Cheetah, and I think everyone else is eaten because of what he does to the field, right? Like you cannot play him straight up. If you do, somebody else is going to expose you. Jalen Waddle, um, um, Raheem. I don't know how to say his
Mostert,
name.
Mostert,
Mostert,
yeah.
like both their running backs, right? Like he just opens up the field. It allows everyone to just expose the defense, and so you can never just play him one style. You got to throw a mixed bag at them, and I think to me he's the best player on one of the best teams in the league right now. And again, I know it's a quarterback's award, but if I was choosing an MVP, I would go Cheetah.
I agree with you, Rashad. My MVP currently is Tyreek Hill for the same things that you said. I feel as though uh, Tua doesn't get to be as great as he is without Tyreek, especially in this offense. He, the fact that the defense has to game plan for Tyreek Hill and try to put a corner and a safety on him, and it normally never works anyway. It's just an amazing thing to see, and it just opens up everything for like Raheem Mostert to get running lanes, or Jalen Waddle to eat, or just get man to man coverage. And he runs like what a 4 point, a 4.3 40. So it's like if Tyreek's not there, I don't know if the offense looks as potent and as scary as it does without Tyreek. Love Tua though, and it is, and like y'all said, it is a quarterback's. It is a quarterback's award. So, if for the sake of argument, if it is Tua, chances are it'll AP offensive player of the year probably go to Tyreek, especially if he hits 2,000 yards this year, definitely. So
2000, he might hit that by like week 14.
that
The
Yeah.
way he,
that is the crazy that is the crazy part.
I
I
think
mean,
they
he's
said.
on
I think
pace
they
to,
said
right?
he's.
He's on
I
pace.
think. I think they said he's 186 yards away from
From
1,000.
1,000
Yeah, from
going into week
1,000.
7.
Yeah, which is insane.
That's
And
nuts.
their bye isn't until like week 14 or something like that, right?
He got time.
week 13. Yeah.
And you think about what's also crazy about this is, wide receivers have come in all shapes and sizes since, I would say, in the last like 15, 20 years. But if you did throw like Tyreek Hill in like an NFL Combine in 1985, they would laugh at him off the field. You know what I mean? Like, wide receivers didn't look like him back then.
No,
And he's just
Yeah.
completely changing the game right now. He just, wide receivers back then were between 6'1" and 6'3" and like 180 to 190 pounds.
Mhm.
And now he's just, he's what is he, like 5'7"?
I was thinking
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe a little bit taller than that.
5'9", 5'10".
Yeah. He's just
His
completely changing.
Yes.
his speed is just unmatched. Like,
It is.
and I don't know for sure if he's the fastest NFL player that's ever played. I doubt he is, but his like acceleration, and once he gets going, no one catches him. It's insane. And
He's
yeah,
sorry,
no,
I
I was,
interrupted. Go ahead.
no. I was just gonna add one last thing. Is just like a simple slant play. He can just outrun everybody and just take a 5-10 yard slant play and make it an 80-yard slant play. Like
Mhm.
it's crazy. I don't think we've seen a receiver do that either at all or in a very long time, and do it at such a high level so consistently
Mhm.
as he does. He's just been lights out. And like to your point that you mentioned earlier, when he first came into the league, he I think he was just like a kick returner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and he evolved into this animal, like no pun intended, like, and he just worked on all these other parts of his games, similar like how Antonio Brown did, right? Like
Mhm.
same concept, where these guys came in, they were seen, like they were put in a box, and draft rankings and all this other stuff, and then these guys just like sharpened other parts of their game and they became elite, like, and
Yeah.
not just elite for one reason, elite for many reasons. So yeah, shout out to Tyreek Hill, man.
Yeah. When you were saying about his speed, I don't know if he's the fastest in terms of NFL speed, but to put it in perspective, he's world class speed. And I say that
Mhm.
like, I'm track is my thing. I forget now if it was like the 2016 or 2020 Olympics, but they took his high school 200-meter time. So that we're talking like the 100-meter dash is known as like the world's fastest man, right? The
Yeah.
200, a lot of 100-meter runners run also. They took his high school 200-meter time and put it in again. I apologize. I think it was the 2016 Olympics, and he would have placed sixth in the Olympics. So his high school time would have got sixth in the Olympics in the 200-meter dash. So like we're talking
That's
like
not, and he's not like,
rare,
he hasn't even like grown into his like full
yeah.
body
And
pause.
he wasn't even training either. You know what I mean? Like he's
Exactly.
training, but at a high school level. Like we're talking like these guys train for 4
Every
years
day.
for those 20 seconds that they're running that race.
Mhm.
It's absurd. I'll try to find the video. I'll send it to you in the chat, but it's crazy.
But that's the thing, though. Like yeah, I've thought about that too. Where why can't they take a track like a sprinter, world class sprinter, and just throw them on the NFL field? But they've done that. They've tried that, and like it doesn't translate because these guys can't catch the ball, or they're
Mhm.
not great route runners. Like they don't have that finesse. Like look at
Yeah,
Marquise Goodwin. Look at Marquise Godwin, for example, or Goodwin, right?
Mhm.
Like the guys, he started out in
Early.
Buffalo, then he went to the 49ers, and he went to all these different places, and he
Yeah.
can't stick. No matter where he's going, he can't stick because he's good enough to be in the league, and he's extremely fast. I think he's actually faster than Tyreek, if I'm not mistaken, because every
Mhm.
time they have an Olympics, he's always going to it and representing like the U.S. But he's not nearly as great or good as a receiver as Tyreek, because like it just doesn't translate. The speed,
yeah,
you would think that it's an advantage, but it's not,
right. When you
unless
when you
these
get to
guys
that
can put it
level,
together.
especially like even I don't even know if he's still in the league. I think last year was his first year. Devin Allen, is that his name from the Eagles? Something
Who?
Allen from the Eagles, exactly. But
I wasn't trying to be
he
disrespectful.
no, I know, but I'm saying to that same point, like what Ray is saying, like it doesn't always equate to that. But he was. I gotta find his name. I'll pull it up. I think it's Devin Allen. Yeah, Devin Allen, the Eagles. This guy right here. He's a hurdler,
Mm.
and he was like I think he was definitely first place in the U.S. He may have been an Olympic hurdler too. But he was on the Eagles team, and I don't even think he still plays anymore. But he was fast. He was fast, and it just you get glimpses because, like you said, once
Hmm.
you get the ball in your hand, your running is running. But it's also like the ability to be shifty and think what a defender is thinking as they're approaching you and stuff like that. So to your point, Ray, it's not always transferable skills having that speed.
Yeah. Yeah. Since we were talking about, speed and whatever, I started to look up, fastest 40 times as it pertains to, NFL. Here are the names of just the wide receivers. We're not going to consider cornerbacks, even though there are some cornerbacks on this league. Let me on this list. This is like the top 11. Jacoby Ford, 4.28. He really didn't do anything in the league. Tyrone Calico, 4.27. Don't even know who that is.
He played on
Marquise
the Titans.
Goodwin,
He played on the Titans.
he played on the
Calico.
Titans. Yeah, he did. Calico played on the Titans. Marquise Goodwin, who we just spoke about, 4.27. Like Ray said, never stuck. Jerome Mathis, 4.26. Obviously CJ2K, we're not gonna disrespect. I'm gonna say his name just because it's CJ2K.
Yeah.
And number one on the list is John Ross with a 4.22.
Yeah,
He
remember
never
that.
really
I
stuck.
remember John
That's
Ross. I
crazy. That's
remember,
crazy.
yeah.
Tyreek not even on the list. And yeah.
Liberty
I thought, I
down
thought,
3 with a
I,
minute
th-
left.
I thought John Ross was gonna be somebody because, like,
Mm-hmm.
he came in and he got drafted by the Bengals. It was a good spot, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Palmer was still there, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, and I thought that was a match made in heaven, and it just didn't work out. He didn't
I
work out
thought he was
anywhere,
gonna be like
actually.
a Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, just so fast, man. I don't know, man.
1 point game. Liberty down 1-1 with 41 seconds left.
Is this a knockout game for them? I
Yep.
can't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah. They're down 2-1.
They have to
yeah.
win every other game. They have to win every game now. So let's say Tyreek gets to that 2,000-yard mark, where would you say where would you rank him as it pertains to wide receivers of all time?
All time.
Obviously, based on what he's done in his career now, and then
I mean, he's
obviously
definitely top 10 in my opinion.
Hmm.
And if he gets 2,000, you could make a case for like top 5. But
Ooh.
you know, I still think, as crazy as this is going to sound, in order for there to be no debate, and in order for him to be like hands down top 10, bona fide top 10,
Mhm.
I think he has a little bit more work to do.
Okay.
I
Just a little
agree.
bit.
I agree. I say that not because of lack of talent. I think he's had more opportunities. And not saying in terms of like longevity of his career, but when you look back to the '80s, so my number one is the GOAT, Jerry
Jerry Rice.
Rice, right?
Hmm.
Look how many times they were throwing the ball back then versus how many
Not as
times they're
much.
throwing the ball now.
Yeah.
So I just think he's had a little bit more opportunity, but I would say top 10 for me. I think top 5 is a stretch at this point. Like 2000 is nothing
Mhm.
to shy away from, obviously. But when I think of top 5, I'm thinking like, and this is no particular order other than Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, T.O.
Mhm.
And that's 4 right there. I'm sure I'm missing someone from my top 5. That's a hard list to crack into.
Yeah.
Put it this way, even if I can't think of a 5th right now, he's got a lot to do before he breaks in that top 4 for me.
That's fair. That's fair. My top, at least my top four consists of those four. And I think like a couple that are in my top 10 is like Chad. Chad Johnson's probably in my top 10. Steve Smith is probably in my top 10 as well.
Which one, Giant Steve Smith?
I'm not going to dignify that answer. Like, what? Steve Smith on the Giants. Nah. Because I definitely just saw a video, and it was like from a year or so ago. I think it was because, Steve Smith had a little bit of beef with Jerry Judy.
Jerry Judy.
So I just started looking up just trash talk from Steve Smith, and I was like, I know that Steve Smith is a dog, like that kind of size, and kind of not necessarily reminds me of Tyreek, but more so like because Tyreek is faster, but Steve Smith had to play bigger because he obviously was so compact and small. So, yeah, and the same thing that y'all said about Tyreek, same thing with Steve Smith, had to play punt return, kick return, and then worked his way up to wide receivers. I shout out. Jerry
I
Judy,
just
you will
remember.
never be anybody.
I just remember who probably my fifth is. As of right now, it's probably got to be Larry Fitz.
Ooh, I like that. Fitz is
So
the most consistent. Was the most consistent dude ever.
yeah. So like I saw something. Like it was going into like his sometime in his last 2 years. He had more tackles than he had
Then
drop
drop
passes.
passes. Yep.
That's a crazy stat.
Yo, remember that one Super Bowl they were in? That
With
first
the
half,
Steelers.
the Steelers. That first half, he was like kind of like held in check. That second half, he didn't drop nothing.
He gave them a
He
chance.
got everything. Did not matter. Who was the quarterback? Carson Palmer? No. Or was it Kurt Warner?
I think it was. It might have been Kurt Warner.
I think it was
Talking
Kurt.
about Arizona? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Kurt
yeah.
Warner, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is probably one of the most impressive wide receiver games I've ever seen in a Super Bowl at that particular time.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Man, you guys got me over here thinking about like who's my top 5 and top 10 wide receivers now. Like I was spending.
You could just or name your favorite. That'll probably help.
Well,
you.
I'll tell you who my top 3 probably are.
Okay, yeah.
Just off the top of my head, right? Like my top 3, number 1 is hands down Jerry Rice, without a doubt. There's nothing else to talk about there. I think 2 and 3 are interchangeable for me,
Correct.
and it could either be 2 could either be Randy Moss, 2 could be T.O. 3 could be Randy Moss, 3 could be T.O. Those are my top 3 receivers ever. Yeah, I mean, and then if I had to go top 5, I don't know. It's tough. I'd need more time to think about that, but those are my top 3.
Yeah.
I loved when Megatron was playing because it just seemed like he was like a man amongst younger men. I can't call them boys, but he had the perfect like stature of what a wide receiver, like a prototypical wide receiver would look like for that. What he was like, 6'5"? He was like 6'5", 6'6". He can run crazy routes. He can go up there and get it.
He wasn't like anything that the NFL had seen.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
I mean, it was like throwing a tight end out there.
Yeah. Shout out to the tight ends too.
Yeah.
We can talk about that next week. Ready to get into some picks?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, right now I would say where we currently are after week 6. Week 6, Ray and I are tied at 31.
Nice.
Sean, you are at 28.
I got hype. I thought you were going to talk about our fantasy where we're at.
No, he's talking about.
Oh no! I mean, we can talk about fantasy like for one quick second. Let me put up the standings actually.
No, you don't have to do that. I thought that's where you were going when you said. I knew when you were talking about our picks, but you said let's see where we're all at. So when you said that, I thought you meant our standings.
No. Well,
He
I'm
was
gonna
ready.
do this.
He was ready. He was
I
like,
know.
here we
No,
go. He's about to big me
you know
up.
what? You know what
I'm
it
waiting
is.
for it. Let's go.
You know what? You know where it is.
You
You know
gave
where it
him
is.
blue balls.
No, you know what? You know what it is. It's I'm not. I'm definitely not one to gloat early in this
Yeah, that's
season.
true.
Like
Nah, that's true. That's true.
I saved that for when I win the chip, right? But there was something I've been sitting on for a while. Everybody in the league laughed at me when they saw my roster. I had all those Giants,
I still
and
do.
now I got the most points in the league. But
Not because of them Giants. Stop. Okay, relax. It wasn't
no,
because of the
no,
Giants.
no, my Giants haven't got me points. Saquon's been on the bench, and do I have
No.
Do I have Waller in this league? Do I
I
have
think
Waller in
you
this league?
do.
I have Waller in one of my leagues. Is it this league? I don't know. No, maybe not. Yeah, I do. I do. So Waller's my lone giant that's been getting me points this year.
Man,
Well,
listen.
real quick.
Go.
We'll go real quick. Real quick. You are in first place. You do have the most points. I'm shocked being third in points. That never happens. Never happens. And Ray, you right behind me yet. No. You're in seven. But not too
Yeah.
far. Not too far.
Listen, I should not be in seventh. I lost some close games. I should at least be like 4-2 or 5-1 right now. Unfortunately, my squad is. I think I got a solid squad, but obviously I didn't account for Rogers going down because that took the value of Garrett and Brees Hall down. But yeah,
Not much for Brees Hall though. Brees been balling the
yeah,
last couple of weeks now.
yeah. Because I mean, you just got to give him the ball, hand it off to him, and watch him go.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, Zach got to get the ball to Garrett Wilson, but
Yeah.
I still think that my squad can get stronger towards the end of the year when guys get healthy, bye weeks are done,
Mhm.
and start to make a little climb. But my best weeks are yet to come.
Yeah.
I agree. I
Oh.
think I know how Ray runs a team. Like I'm not counting anyone in the league out at this point, but
Mhm.
I at least know how the two of you and Nana play, and that's why I said what I said very cautiously because it's a long season. But I just wanted to get that one out only because of the points. But who knows? I'm in a tough matchup this week right now, so
Yeah.
I think we
Shout
still
out
got a
to
long ways to go.
Nana. He's 3-3 as well, and I do face him this week.
Nice.
That's
Team
why
nice
you enjoy the
guys.
podcast.
Team nice guys.
Nice. Yeah.
That's why Nana didn't join this week. You know he doesn't talk to you if he plays you that week.
Team
Yeah.
nice guys CEO versus Team nice guys president.
Who is who?
That's between you guys to figure out.
Okay. But yeah, looking at the odds according to ESPN, not necessarily saying these are my odds. They have Rashad at a 95% chance of making the playoffs. They have me with a 79%, Ray at a 59%, and one Nana at 60%. And then there's one person that has 1%.
Yeah, Benjamin. Yo, Benjamin, man, he's having a
That
rough
was
season.
the funniest joint ever. He was drafting and breaking up with his girl. That's crazy.
Oh wait, that's what was
Wait,
happening.
that was him?
Yes. Remember when he said
wow.
he was gonna draft at a bar?
Oh snap!
I thought that was somebody else. I didn't realize that was him.
Nah, that was him. That was him. But yeah. Back to Pick'ems. For anybody who have players on the Panthers, Bengals, Cowboys, Texans, Jets, and the Titans. They're on their bye weeks this week, so you know what to do. Get your players in, make those roster changes. But yeah, we're gonna start with the Pick'ems. First game, which will be tomorrow night, Jacksonville at New Orleans. What we saying, fellas?
I got the Jags.
I got the Jags also.
And that is a clean sweep for the Jaguars. The the Falcons versus the Buccaneers.
I'm trying to pull my list up so I can see the actual schedule. Falcons at Bucks, you said?
Yep.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one because I would say the Bucks, but I don't know what the deal is with Baker's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's in Tampa Bay.
It's in Tampa Bay, yeah.
Baker loves those close matchups, man. He loves those division rivalry games. I'm gonna I'm gonna go against the grain though. I'm gonna say the Falcons.
Mm.
I think
I'll
Bijan
take
has a
the.
good chance to step up here.
Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
No, that was it. That was my fault.
I'll take the.
Would you?
I'll take the Bucks.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Falcons, which is a shock to me because I didn't think they were gonna be good. However, next year, Falcons. If y'all know what's good for you, get rid of Desmond Ritter, please.
Yeah, he's trash.
He is hot garbage. Dude, that pick he threw was just foolish. Nobody was even there. Um, I started looking at what the spread is going to be too. So just in case you want to ask some questions. Who do I have next? Who do I have next? Second. It is Raiders versus the Bears.
Mm.
Raiders. Raiders.
Man, a lot of mud
Is
matchups
Herbert
so far.
playing? Is Fields out for extended period of time?
I think
I
he's
don't know.
doubtful. I think he's doubtful.
Raiders.
Not sure though. I'm taking Raiders.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders as well.
Sweep. These are terrible games.
Yeah, man. This first 3 games out the bat, just trash.
I see two potential games of the week.
This ain't gonna be no better. Browns at the Colts. If you would like to know what the spread is, it looks to be the Colts are +2.
Interesting. No Watson
Which means Browns
and no
are-
Richardson.
Mm.
I know the Browns won that game the other day. I don't want to take anything away from. I am by Walker's performance. I thought it was the defense that kept him in. He had a good little run there at the end,
definitely.
but I don't know. That's a tough one.
I'll take the Browns.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns as well.
I'm
Y'all
taking
good
the
this year?
I'm taking the Browns. I'm taking the Browns. I just
Reluctant taking the Browns.
I'd feel a lot more confident if it was in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking the Browns. That defense is tough.
Okay.
Yeah.
NFC East matchup. The Commanders versus the New York Football Giants.
Give me my G-men. Give me my G-men. You know why? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I wish I could agree with you because I do want to see you guys win a game, but I think the Commanders kind of put you guys out of your misery.
I'll give you my theory on why I think the Giants win that. Two-parter. I think one, we've shown glimpses. I guess it's multiple. We've shown glimpses of being okay on certain drives. I think we can come back from that. I think our defense finally clicked last week playing the Bills and giving Josh Allen a tough time. And the other thing is, and this is probably the most significant reason why I think we win. I never want my team to tank, you know that. But my team also will find a way to win just to ruin the tank. Where, like so
That's
it's just
actually correct.
Jets
like,
are notorious for that too.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's a New York thing. Knicks have we've always been one pick away as a Knicks fan.
Yep. Mhm.
So I think that's just gonna happen here. Um, but I could be wrong. I mean, obviously, I want my team to win, so I won't root against them. I won't be disappointed. But I could see that. I could see this being one of those winnable games. I mean, if we can't beat Washington at home, we're not going to beat them on the road later in the year. So we got to do it now.
Yeah.
The Commanders are a 2-point favorite. And they don't think neither of these teams going to score. 39 and a half. Yuck. I'm going to go with the Commanders. There's no real good answer for me because I don't. Well, this game may be good. I'm not gonna say it's like the game of the week. I'm not gonna say that yet. I'm gonna roll with the Commanders for this game. Next will be a possible game of the week: Lions versus the Ravens.
That's one of my 2 games of the week.
I'm gonna take Detroit.
I'm rolling with my NFC North champions as well.
I'll be right back, y'all.
Yeah. I'm taking. I'd love to take Detroit here. I think Detroit could pull this one off, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Lamar here.
Okay. I was gonna type in Lamar. Would you like to guess what is the spread for this game?
I'll say. I'll say the Ravens are getting 2.5.
Damn, that was pretty good. Ravens 3.
I was gonna say 3, but
That ain't bad. That ain't bad. 2.5, not that shit. That's damn near a push for the 3.
yeah, yeah.
Yo, speaking of betting, last week bet pissed me off. I got every. I was ready to cry, bro. That $10 bet was going to hit on.
What was your bet?
So the bet was, hold on, because I got it on my phone. Where is it? It was an 8-leg parlay. 1, Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown scorer. You got that. Brandon Ayuk to get over 40 plus yards receiving. He had 43. Raheem Mostert, anytime touchdown scorer. He had 2. Adam Thielen to have over 5.5 receptions. He had 10. And then, what's the next one? Kenneth Walker, the third, anytime touchdown. He got that. Jamar Chase, over 70 plus receiving yards. He got that too. Cooper Kupp, anytime touchdown scorer. The last leg is David Montgomery, anytime touchdown scorer, and he gets hurt in the first.
What was gonna be the payout? That's a lot.
The payout was $10 or $509.22.
Damn, I feel like it should have been more than that. Those anytime touchdown scores, you get multiple of those. That's
Yeah,
that's tough to do.
yeah. So fun fact, I went on TikTok and my algorithm is all over the place. And basically, a betting video came up and was like, "Yo, this is a bet you need to put in this week." And then obviously they gave a stat breakdown or whatever. And I was like, but there was one part of the parlay that I was not gonna do because it was on another platform. And I think it was like Prize Picks or excuse me, Underdog Fantasy, and it was basically for it was like a free space basically. Josh Allen to get more than 0.5 passing yards. Obviously, that was
hmm
but I did it on what was it? I did it on FanDuel, and I was like at my I was at my in laws' place, because I went there after church or whatever. So I was watching, I was looking, I was like, "Yo, this is about to hit." I'm hyped. And then once I saw in the chat they said David Montgomery hurt, I was like, damn, I wish they would just give me some bread back for the fact that I hit everything else.
Yeah. What's
It was disgusting.
what was I about to say? What have you used Underdog before?
Have I used the underdog way before when there was no like real betting.
Before Cam and Mace?
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, I think that was like
No, that's true.
I mean,
That's
there
true.
was there was like betting, but it wasn't like you could bet on like say, oh, this team's about to win. It was mostly like based on stats, just like
Oh
like,
no,
hey,
I
you
wasn't.
better-
I wasn't cracking a joke though.
No,
Cam
no,
and
no, I
Mace,
know, I know.
they're sponsored by that now. It is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they do their
They
own
got
bets
the
every day.
bag. They got the
Yeah.
bag. Shout out.
Yeah,
to
I'm
them.
happy for them.
I
I'm
don't know
happy for
how
them,
you
man.
get the bag off of saying pause, but shout out to them because
No, because it's comedy though. Like I was tuned
Yeah.
in. I was tuned in early on, and it's not a me thing. Like I'm saying, like I think I was watching them one time with my barber, and then I was seeing them like promote it on IG, like oh check out a new thing. So okay, cool, Kim and Mace. Like I was just happy to see them back together. I had no
Yeah.
idea it was gonna be comedy. Like those guys are funny. They got great chemistry.
They do. They do. After
And it's mad funny.
after the years of them like beefing and all that other
Yeah.
stuff, it's good to see. It's good to see that.
And but they got like the high school stories growing up playing high school ball
Mhm.
together. I forgot which way it was. Like if Cam stayed at Mace's grandmother's house or Mace stayed at Cam's grandmother's house, but they were like mad close growing up. So they just got good chemistry too. So like that they got the inside jokes, they got the mutual friends that they can crack on. It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm
They even
laughing.
crack on the celebrities.
I'm laughing. I'm coming back to the conversation. I'm laughing because I was listening to y'all the whole time, and I'm laughing because y'all talk about Cam, right, and Mace, and what comes to mind immediately. I don't know if you guys saw the video of Cam versus Jim Jones in the West Fourth Park, and they playing basketball.
No,
and they playing basketball.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're playing basketball in church shoes, and they're
Yeah.
pushing each other. Yeah. Yo, I gotta send the video to you. It's a classic. It's hilarious.
Oh my
But
God.
sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut y'all off.
Cam used to be nice at ball.
Yeah.
Oh
He was-
yeah.
He rapped about it.
I'll find and I'll text the group. But
That was funny. And I think I saw one clip was Cam said something and then like the whole production crew just started throwing caps at him. That dream was hilarious.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking
That
about.
was
He got
hilarious.
tight. He got tight.
He's like, y'all gonna let Mace get y'all fired. And then
Yep,
someone threw
yeah,
another one
exactly.
at him, like, yo, stop the cap, nigga.
I sent it to the group chat. not the WhatsApp chat, the text group that we have.
Yeah. I'm gonna check it out after
Remind me to
this.
send this.
I'm gonna check this out after that.
This ain't the original version of the video. It looks sped up too, but it's hilarious.
That just reminded me. I'm gonna do a double send, Ray, because I'm sending this. That reminded me to send the Tyreek thing.
Yeah.
Oh, was Cam's thing for a music video? Was Cam's thing for a music video?
Was
What
it?
do you mean?
Oh no,
if
maybe not.
it was, that would have been the first time I heard that.
Seen this. I have seen this.
That shit is hilarious.
Yeah. No, I know. The reason I asked if it was for a music video, he did something like not too long ago, I think, where he was like fake tap dancing, and it was like
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Oh, I
and
seen that with him
Yeah.
and I forgot the dude's name. He's from Mendici. That's it.
Yeah.
Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Where were we? I forgot where we were at, bro.
We just did the last one we did was Lions
Detroit and Lions Ravens. Okay.
Yeah.
You said Ravens.
I said Ravens.
Ray said Lions, right?
Mm-hmm,
Do I fully believe Ravens in my heart? No, but
No.
I also got to try to make up some ground against you too.
That is factually correct.
The why in the gap though.
AFC East or the AFC. No, I can't even call it the AFC least anymore. They're decent. Uh, AFC East, Buffalo at New England.
Bills.
Bills, right?
Bills. Yeah, yeah.
What's that spread? 6.5?
No,
Nah, it's like 12, right?
nah, it's 8.5. 8.5
Okay.
in favor of the Bills.
Wait, so that means, Ray, if you heard us, you heard that how close I was in the last spread?
Yeah, I heard you off like a point or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Half a point.
Arizona. Oh, sorry. Cardinals versus Seahawks.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a decent game.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think I'll go against the grain. I think Arizona wins it. Slim win by Arizona.
I'm going Seattle. I'm going Seattle. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think 12th man is gonna be a little bit much for Josh Dobbs.
Yeah. I'm going with the Seahawks as well. That spread is 8 in favor of the Seahawks. So, a bunch of mid. Steelers versus the Rams.
Take the
Rams.
Rams.
I'm thinking of taking the Rams as well. Hey man, that
I'll give the
offense
Rams-
looking kind of good, man.
I was gonna say I'll give the Rams credit. I thought they were gonna have a down year this year. I
Me
think
too.
the league did too. I saw them as like one of the biggest falls projected at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna suck. I did, but they're surprising me.
Yeah. Injury status. Let me see before I say that one game. Next game on the list is, I believe. Oh no, maybe this is another game of the week candidate. Chargers at Chiefs.
This is my second one. It was the Lions Ravens, and this is gonna be my other second one.
Okay.
This is a good game. I always love these two when they play this matchup.
I want this to be a shootout.
I don't know that it will, but
I don't think so either.
I agree though. I want it to be a shootout, but I say Chiefs win a close one because that defense, that Chiefs defense is actually top 5 this year.
Yeah. Once they got Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with the Chiefs as well.
I really want to go Chargers. I'm going Chiefs. Chiefs is my answer, but I think we'll see. I think we'll see what the Chargers are made of, right? Like I think after that loss on Monday night, if they can bounce back and steal one in Arrowhead, then maybe they finally got over the hump of just being a mediocre team and they're one of the top teams. But they've been. Roy, you all right? I thought you looked like you fell down.
I accidentally hit something. That's
It looked like it was you that took the fall.
No. I thought like Midgie came in and she's just like smacked the phone off the stand or something.
No, that's gonna look crazy when I look at this back.
It looked like it was you that fell. I thought she took a tumble.
I'm good though.
Yeah, I think we'll get to see if what the Chargers are made of. I'm going Chiefs, like I said, but I think the Chargers have been known. Like I think it was Herbert's first year, they lost like half their games by like a possession. And I think it's going to come down to a possession here, but I think it'll be cool if they still win an Arrowhead just as a fan. But I think the Chiefs are going to take it. Like a 28-27 type of game.
That'd be good. I'd enjoy that.
I'm picking the Chiefs as well. The spread is -5.5 in favor of the Chiefs.
Wow.
And for the total score to be, the line is at 48, which is what both teams got to score 24. That shouldn't be too hard. It shouldn't be.
I hope they score more than that, but
me too.
Yeah, me too.
Because I may want to put that as a bet, but I'm a chill. Green Bay versus Denver. I don't really care.
Yeah, you do.
It's the
Yeah,
pack.
you
It's
do.
the Packers. I'm not stupid. I'm
You
not losing
I
a
care
think
because
playoff for
you
nonsense.
care because if Russ throws for 350 and 4 touchdowns, everyone's gonna hear about
And
it.
no one's gonna hear about it. I'm not talking about Russ no more.
The
We
thing
will
is,
let the season play
I
out.
like Russ. I like Russ. I feel like you've been in an argument with yourself all this time. That's why it's funny to me.
Oh.
Oh
I've been
my
arguing.
god,
Nah,
that's a
here's the
great way
thing.
of putting it. He's
Here's the
been
thing. I've
fighting
been
himself
arguing with a
on
lot
this
of
whole
other
thing.
people.
This is
he said
he
like we're
chose
the
he
media.
chose he chose this
No,
hill
no,
to
no,
die
no,
on.
no. If it comes across crazy from my end to y'all, it ain't y'all. It's me more so arguing with people in other chats and things like that
Yeah.
that just say things but don't have any facts to back up their claims. They
Like
just say
Yeah.
like if you would have came and said like something about Joe Burrow or something like that, like if you would have made a similar argument for Joe Burrow, I would have been like, okay, that's that I could work with that.
Mhm.
Like you'd make some points, I'd make some points, and then we'd shake on it.
Yeah.
But like this Russell Wilson argument, it's not working for you.
It was just funny to me because there was one day like I don't have my WhatsApp notifications
Yeah.
turned on, but I was in like meetings. I was in back to back meetings. And all of a sudden on
Yep.
my watch, I got the alert from Royal, and it just says, "Okay, I'm done talking about Russell Wilson. I'm not going to say anything anymore." I'm like, I'm thinking, damn, what popped off while I was in these meetings? I came back and I saw like the thread was going crazy. I'm like, damn, Royal is just he's caping up for Russell Wilson right now.
we ain't answer who we got winning the game. I'll give
Green
you my
Bay.
well, okay, so then we all got Green Bay then. I'll give you
Yeah.
my take though. Like I think this is a get right game for Green Bay. I think they went into the bye week thinking that they were going to win that game against the Raiders, and then they end up losing. And they probably got exposed in that game too. So I think they went back to the drawing board, spent the bye week trying to fine tune their offense, and let's see how they respond now coming out of the bye. I'd like to see them come out fast out of the gate because I do think Jordan Love's a decent quarterback. And I think their offense has some decent offensive weapons. So I want to see them not only beat the Broncos, I want to see them beat up on the Broncos, like blow them out.
I got one thing I want to say about this game. It's not about this game, but each week I am tempted to like pick the Broncos. I think there's going to be one game this year where the Broncos surprises. Not saying they're only going to win one more game, but I feel like there's going to be a game where they're serious underdogs and they surprise us and steal one because I don't know. I think these teams are coming in the same way that we are doubting the Broncos. And I could be way off. You know, they could lose out, and that could also be the case. But like this was a game where I'm like, okay, this could be a game that they steal and surprises. But I don't think this week is going to be that week because I think, like you said, Ray, I think the Packers are coming in knowing that this is how they can get back on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Would y'all be surprised if this game is damn near a push?
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be if it wasn't Lambeau, but
it's 1 point, honestly. Packers are
it
favored.
was
Yeah.
I figured that. It wouldn't surprise me if it was 1 point. It wouldn't surprise me if it was 5.5. But
yeah,
it's a tough game to call. You rarely see these teams play each other.
Yeah.
Neither team has looked up to where they would like to be right now. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm probably not going to tap into that game, but I'll check the score.
Sunday Night Football and probably the game of the week, high key. Dolphins at Eagles.
beautiful. That game. Oh
That is
man,
a
I
good
can't wait.
Sunday night game. That is a good
Hell
Sunday.
yeah. I'm hoping that just every single possession, 7, 7, 7, 7, like just everybody just scoring touchdowns nonstop. I don't give a shit who wins this game. I just want to see a high flying game. I'll take the Eagles. I'll take the Eagles in a. You know what? No, I'll take the Dolphins. I take the Dolphins. I take the Dolphins to
Damn it, man.
for the same reasons I told y'all before, right? Like Philly's offense, something's wrong with them. They got to figure it out. And I don't I don't know that this is the game that they figure it out. This is the game that they have to play from behind, though. This is the game where they probably have to get into a shootout with Miami just to keep up.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Dolphins as well. Uh, yeah, it'll be a shock to see Philadelphia lose two in a row, but I'm looking forward to it. So give me the Dolphins.
I'd love to see the Dolphins lose seven or the Eagles lose 17 in a row. I'm going. I'm going with the Dolphins. I don't want to see a Philly team win anything again. I don't care if it's Philly Little League.
That's fair.
But I'll say the Dolphins. I think the Eagles have a good team.
Hmm.
I think there's some kinks they got to work out from last week, and this is not similar to how you just talked about, Ray. That this is a great matchup for the Packers to come in after a bye week and a get right game.
This is
The
not
Eagles,
one.
you don't want to see the Dolphins on your get right game.
This is not
Um,
one.
and especially think about that. They just lost a game that Eagles fans think they should have won against the Jets, right?
Hmm.
And they're playing in Lincoln Financial. So we know how Philly fans are. If they're down by 2 possessions, they're gonna hear it and the momentum is just gonna be sucked out of that field.
Yeah.
So I think it could I just don't see I think Philly's a top talent, but I think of where they are right now, what we talked about their offense, and Ray saying like he would love to see 7-7-7. I don't think Philly has the ammo to match up to that right now.
Yeah.
Darius
What
Slay
is
is going to be tired
it?
chasing Cheetah around.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear him talk on his little podcast. I don't want him to talk.
Oh, I didn't even know he had one.
Yeah, I think he's with either the Volume or with the Athletic. One of those.
Mm.
Yeah, he be talking as well. Also, Michael Parsons, shut up. That's all I really want to
Damn,
say
what
about that.
what happened? What happened? What did he do?
Michael Parsons is upset with the media stating that uh, they basically moved the
Oh, I know
goalposts
what
for
you're talking
every other team except for the Cowboys. But however, the Cowboys fans are the loudest ones that don't win. Also, Dak has not played the greatest. Um, y'all didn't they lose to
They lost to the
didn't they lose
Cardinals.
to Cardinals, right?
Yeah,
Who's losing? Not even the Giants lost to the Cardinals, and they were
I
down by
mean,
like 20 points.
I was gonna say
They almost did.
we can't just
Almost
make it
did.
seem like we actually won that game like without any trouble though. It
No,
was
no, 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 no. Y'all still won though.
yeah.
Y'all didn't lose. They lost, and then obviously they got their ass whipped by San Francisco. That was terrible.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons, please, after losses, you need to be, professional and be like, hey, you know, we'll get them next time and move forward. You getting mad at the media? What does that do? Nothing. You going at Emmanuel Acho for no reason. Like, come on, it's very weird. Um, the Eagles are considered the favorite in that game, by the way, at -2. And I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna make that bet for Dolphins money line if it's still available.
It's a good
They're
bet.
not the favorite. I'm around with that Dolphins bet.
Look at I don't know what you have pulled up for the schedule,
Mhm.
but that I would all right, so put it this way. We got $97 for the cheapest ticket in Chicago, 69, 81, 63, 33 for Atlanta versus Tampa. I won't give you everyone. We've got 211 for the Chargers versus Kansas City, 244 for the cheapest ticket to that Sunday night game.
Jesus.
That's over $200 more than Atlanta Tampa Bay. Like that's a hot ticket right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Monday night game, it would have been good if Justin Jefferson was there, but he will not be. It is the 49ers versus the Vikings.
Oh,
Versus 49ers at Minnesota. Um, Vikings are underdogs by 6.5. 49ers need to get their lick back from last week. I'm going with the 49ers. I don't see that team. Not this year. No.
I'm going with the Niners too. I just got to say one thing though. I feel bad for the Vikings. I really do,
Me
because
too.
like they were in tight margins last year and they won those games, and then this year they're in the same scenario, tight games, and they're losing those games. Like there's no rhyme or reason. It doesn't mean they're a bad team. Doesn't mean they're a good team. Like, are they somewhere in the middle? I guess we don't know. But and just when they win and they start to build some momentum, they get hit with teams like the Niners. So like it's been happening to them all season so far, and we've only been through what 7 games now. So they're gonna lose this game. I'm taking the Niners, but Minnesota's a better team than their record says they are,
Yeah.
and that's even with losing Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I was going to agree with you. I actually was good if the 49ers didn't lose to the Browns last week. I was going to say the Vikings steal one here, because I think them being home, and to your point, like they're pissed off. Professional NFL players didn't like to lose. I can see them stealing it, and especially with whatever CMC status is and Debo status, it's a good opportunity for the Vikings. But the Niners are pissed. I think Fred Warner has a big game against the Vikings this week, so I'm gonna go with Niners.
I'm going with the Niners as well. I'm currently looking at the injury report for San Francisco. They're saying McCaffrey isn't considered to be dealing with a long-term injury and could be available for Monday night's game. Trent Williams, high ankle sprain. He's day to day. Debo is also day to day as well.
So I'm wondering, you think with these 3 guys, in NFL, it's not you can't overlook any team, but do they rest at least one of those guys?
Yeah.
Do they rest Trent Williams against the Vikings? You know what I mean?
I think they probably arrest McCaffrey and Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that as well. Hopefully, Debo will be back for Monday's game. And yeah, as you were saying about the Minnesota Vikings, the next couple of games, they're not facing nobody like super crazy. They got the Packers.
Okay.
After this week, they got the Packers, and the Falcons, Saints, Broncos, and then Bears.
Those are all winnable games.
They're all winnable games.
They could literally
turn around
win them
quick.
all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
They
All
have
right,
after
well,
You can turn
that.
that around quick.
happens.
Shoot, they got the Raiders.
You saw Ray spruce right up, because that's his NFC North pick right there. He got real.
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me.
You good. And yeah, that is week 6 recap and our preview for week 7.
Another one in the books, fellas.
Another one in the books.
Appreciate you setting this up as always, Royal.
No problem.
Likewise.
I don't want to play Madden tonight, bro. I'm not gonna.
Oh, you guys got a Madden game tonight?
I'm not playing that. No, I don't think we have one.
We don't have each other, but you have
we
to.
Be
we each
going
have to
through
play
the season.
to advance.
Gotcha. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
My whole mic just popped.
Oh no.
Roy's having technical difficulties dropping the camera.
Yeah.
Mike's popping out.
He might be fried.
For what it's worth, you
you
sounded fine when you came back off mute.
It might be that time. Let's call it a night.
Oh, he's frustrated.
Yeah,
he
lost his sound.
He might
There
just
you
go
go.
and play Madden. He might just go and play Madden now.
There you go. We got him.
No,
back now.
oh, if I play Madden now, I'm gonna lose. I'm definitely gonna lose. Well, thank y'all fellas for coming out again.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
This is very much therapy for me during my lonely weeks in this house working.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Good,
But
man.
yeah. Good luck this week. Nana, fuck you. I tell you this week.
Damn. Oh, I thought that was for not showing to the podcast. Okay.
Oh, no,
thanks.
no, no,
What
no.
says that? I was like, damn.
And hopefully we get some folks from the league to join, because I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
as much as I enjoy talking to y'all, it'd be nice to
I
have
want
some
to get to
special
know
guests on
everybody
here.
else too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. So
Hopefully
if
we can
any of
get
y'all
Royal
watch
out on the
this-
11th too.
Oh, right. And they're done. Aces have won the championship. Yeah.
Oh, that
Aw,
happened 20 minutes ago. I was
Yeah,
watching.
I did. I just looked at the
1 point game. 1 point game.
damn.
And
crazy.
what makes it worse is the Liberty had the last shot.
Oh man, they're a
Doesn't
good
that
team though. They might
reminds
have
me
another
of
chance.
one Patrick Ewing at the rim. Oh
Damn.
man, that hurts. We still haven't gotten one of those yet.
Mm-mm.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's been
All right,
real,
fellas.
y'all.
Take care.
Love you
Likewise,
too, man.
Take
Later, y'all.
care. See y'all later.
Later.
Peace.